What up, what up, what up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another week of Sunday night shop talk, White Trash Motorsports. I'm Sam. We'll just start off a little slow here and give it a little bit for some people to stream in. It's a rainy night here in southwestern Pennsylvania. The summer's winding down. We got about 39 days or 38 days till the no-name nationals. We're completely screwed, but we're gonna make it somehow, some way. We're gonna do it. I told Tommy if we gotta go to the local gas station, stand around like homeless people, and wait till somebody pulls in and leaves their truck running, I guess we could probably make it a couple states before the cops got us. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna steal. There's no sense in starting to steal now. We've made it our whole life being honest. Why would we steal now? But nonetheless, welcome, welcome, welcome. Sunday Night Tech Talk. We're going to answer some LS questions, go over what we're doing. As people filter in, we'll start talking. Amanda's going to join us here in a little bit. Said it's a rainy night. We're hanging out in the shop. I'm looking at our burnout tires for the burnout contest. I hope we don't burn anything down on that, because it would suck to burn the car down and then have to race it after we burn it down. But other than that, we did start gathering up some burnout tires. I got some stuff gathered up here to make work. The car's running great, as usual. Had a little issue with the fueling on it. Somehow it got out of whack and I had manifolds going red, but we got that solved. We got some fun stuff coming up here. It's like, this is the 5th Sunday that my back's been jacked up. It's slowly getting better. It hasn't healed 100% yet. It is better. My leg's still all like cramped up from it, but it is probably 75% better. So we're getting there. It won't be too long. Is that it sucks because we're so far behind. We're literally 4 weeks behind where we wanted to be because of being injured. But we'll get caught up. We like being the underdog, and we like crossing the line at the last minute with smoke coming from out under the hood and pulling in and getting that big sigh of relief when you make it. We made it. It was a struggle, but nothing worth doing comes easy. So if it was easy, everybody would do it. So that's why we do it. We do it because it's hard and we like the challenge. So, how's everybody doing tonight? I hope all is well all across this great land. Good. Summer's winding to an end, unfortunately. That's very sad. We hate that. Summer's my favorite time of year, man. I'm so disappointed. I don't care that it's 100 degrees. I don't care if it's 120 degrees. I'm dreading the fact that it's going to start getting cold. We actually, the other night, we had a night it was down to probably like 48 degrees, and I'm telling you what, I was froze. And then over the last few days, it's been rainy, and we've had highs only in like the low 70s, and that's miserable. I mean, I might as well move to Alaska if I'm going to live in the cold like that. But we can't wait. And it's always a countdown. The only thing sucks about living in this part of the country, you know, it's 3 months of beautiful weather and 9 months of sitting around waiting for the beautiful weather. Maybe one day we'll have enough we can move somewhere where it stays warmer all year round. That way we can be more productive. I hear Tennessee's nice. But I've been catching up on everybody's videos. I see everybody's getting ready for the No Name Nationals. That's good. I see all the projects are coming along. I said we're 4 weeks behind. So I haven't been able to do anything. I haven't, other than sit in the shop, talk to you guys, and put fuel in my car. I literally haven't been able to do anything. That's why we haven't been posting many videos lately, because just to force yourself to do anything sucks, so it's trying to like work, and then anything after that is just pure torture, so we haven't done much, but I'm afraid of hurting it worse again, and I don't want to go through what I went through the first 2 weeks of it, when it was completely horrible, so I don't want to hurt it and mess it up. So, all my moves are deliberate and gingerly. How's everybody doing tonight? I see we got some people in here. Wait, let me make sure we're getting pushes here, if anybody's in here. Hello, hello. Alright, that should be there. Now we got comments turned on. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we're getting there. No Name is coming up so fast. It is hard to believe it's under 40 days until No Name Nationals. I mean, heck, in another week, it'll be like a month almost. Because, look, in August is about over, man. We'll be September here in 9 days or so. Was today's, what, the 21st? So, yeah, well, yeah, about 9 days it'll be September. Everybody getting ready? Everybody excited? I'm excited, man. This thing's huge and off the hook. There's so many people going to be there. It's so crazy of a time. I've been excited about it since it's been announced, but now it's starting to become a reality. We're starting to realize how close it's going to be. As soon as our guests join us here, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to try to have some fun tonight. If anything, we could take the phone and just go out. We got an XL7 out here that was totaled by the insurance company, so we could just go out and bomb it through the yard while we're live. Try to jump the bank or something with it. We got coming up in the next 38 days or so, we got probably going to have some major projects coming on to make it. I know that. Things are going to get busy here. I got like Plan D over here hanging on the engine stand still. So I do have a 6-liter over here, and I have a 4L80 tranny. So that's like Plan D or whatever. And if everything falls through and we can't find a way there, we're just going to go find some beater and throw this stock 6-liter in it and cannonball it down to the No Name Nationals somehow, some way. We've been looking at that, so it's just been, like I said, my biggest problem is I haven't been able to do anything for weeks now, and I hate to seem that I'm whining about it. I'm not really whining about it. It's my own fault. I did it to myself, but it's slowing us down. I hear noise outside the shop. Should we grab a boomstick? Hello? Oh, excuse me, thought I heard somebody outside. Hello? Who is it? Who is outside the shop? No, I know I'm not hearing things. I heard the door open on the motorhome beside the shop. I hear the rain on the roof. Hello, hello. Yo. Oh, all right. Oh, let's crack this door up real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. What? We're bombing. Huh? I don't know. We're opening the shop door. Figure open the door up and let the bugs in. So we can get chewed up. Why? What are you doing? Oh, where's the dog? She ain't in tonight, is she? Amanda was supposed to join us as soon as she's done. Sorry about that, guys. But we try to bring everything here live and uncut, so you see what's going on here. You see it as we see it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, that's our final plan. If all else fails, is go buy like a $200 S10 or something and cram this 6-liter in it and drive it there. We're going to make it there somehow. Somehow, some way we're going to make it. Like I said, because right now, the trailer's tore apart in the yard, the truck's tore apart in the yard, the camper's tore apart in the yard, everything's tore apart. I don't know, I'm starting to recognize a pattern here that everything's tore down. I don't understand it. Because of one person. You got way too much to do. But I ain't got nothing done. That's the problem. Like I said, that literally... Crap, what have I done in the last 4 weeks? I don't think I've done anything. I've laid around and tried to heal. That's what I've done the last 4 weeks. But it's catching up with me because, like I said, No Name's going to be here in no time, and here we go. I have no idea how we're going to pull this off. But like I said, we will pull it off. Don't count us out. Because we want to be there. Everything works out right. We're going to be there Thursday afternoon, early Thursday evening with our plan for the No Name. That was always a plan. And then leave Sunday morning. I mean, if we got to sleep in a cardboard box in a field underneath an overpass or something, then we'll do what we're doing. No, it's really starting to rain now. Why are you standing out in the rain? Maybe she didn't. Dixie, you're a dummy dog. What is it? What do we got here tonight? Let's see. Roy boy, what's up? No, Roy boy, here's the problem is not only that, it's we got the sprag for the camper, but we're probably not going to get it done here. Not only that, is I can't get wheel cylinders. I busted a wheel cylinder for it, and that's on an RM400 chassis. I've tried looking around everywhere that I've tried to find. They're on back order. I can't even find a rebuild kit for it because ours has a 1-year axle. Ours is a 73, and it's the first year when they switched over to the front disc brakes on that year, and I can't find a rear wheel cylinder anywhere, and it's leaking everywhere. Plus, we still would have to put tires on it. So, like I said, we've decided that we're probably just going to tow down with a pickup truck to make it to this one, and then we'll have to finish that up later.
Thunder.
Yeah, it's raining.
Yeah.
It is raining.
Storm. Might.
I figured she'd have been done by now.
She's playing around. She's doing that.
She looks good. She's probably watching. I think you got more people with.
I can't get this.
What? You can't get what?
Get the comments and not read through.
No, the only one. Roy's the only one that commented. Other than that, yeah, Roy boy commented, but yeah.
The other days ain't on there yet?
Yeah, we got a couple people on here. We're getting there. It's early yet. We just come on and we're like, we're kind of boring yet.
Well,
We'll
that's
get there.
what we are for.
We're not bored. We just have stuff to do.
Well, we got a lot to do, but
We got a lot to do. We ain't got no way to do it. That's the problem.
yeah,
I don't know how we're gonna.
we didn't get our camper fixed either.
No, like I said, well, I can't get that wheel cylinder. That's so.
So we're done with the motorhome for this year.
Even if it
Can't
is,
find nothing.
I can't get the wheel cylinder or what we got right now.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, what's up, Mopar Den? Yeah, Roy boy, it just sucks. I mean, like I said, it's a 1973 camper anyway, so if it was on a 1-ton chassis, it'd be a lot better, but because it's on that RM400 chassis and on the 19.5 wheels, that makes fun because that's got 2 wheel cylinders in each rear wheel on it. And I know it, heck, we drove it home. It was fine. When I backed it and parked it, the brakes were fine. And then I went one day to pull it up on the blocks to drop the transmission out of it. When I stepped on the brake pedal, it went to the floor. What's up, Schultz? Make it home yet? But yeah, we're just hanging out here. Like I said, we got plans A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So we got plenty of plans somehow to make it. I mean, we'll either get in the trailer. I mean, if we have to, I'll take the slicks off the back and put like our burnout tires on the back. I'll stiff hitch it. That's what they did years ago. You know what I mean? That used to be how they always throw a tow bar on it and go if we don't get the trailer up together. What's up, Kayla? But yeah, I mean, if we have to, we'll tow bar it. Just take the drive shaft off. Boy, it won't hurt anything. It's, because the rear end will lube as you're dragging down the road. They tow cars like that behind campers all the time, and they always have. Used to, back in the 70s, that's how everybody, their dragsters, they would tow behind the truck like that to get to the racetrack. You know what I mean? And look at NASCAR and stuff, how they, back in the day when guys would show up with pickup trucks and cars with open trailers. So it's not like, so that's an option. Huh? There's an option. Like I said, I found there's a little 1-ton GMC up here that's like probably like a 18 to 20 foot camper, but it's literally set in this guy's yard. I know I can say probably 18 years that I know of. Yeah. Now, even if we could score that, like I said, we could slap our 6-liter in there with our overdrive tranny. That takes, that's just 16-inch tires, so that's not a big deal, to find a good set of 16-inch tires just to roll down the road. Like I said, as long as they're not dry rotted and old, it don't matter. As long as they're black and hold air, that's good enough for us. Just take spares. Yeah. But yeah, because I really like the James and James show now. They said that after Sykeston, they said anybody on the way back through coming, I guess they're close to the track down there. They said that they're going to have a dyno day. Everybody on that Sunday is going to go hang out on the dyno.
Tow bars was very common back in the day.
Oh, I know. I tow bars with a lot of stuff.
Just an idea. There is a gas.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we know about the gas fund, brother, and we appreciate it, but we're going to make it on our own. I'm sure there's a lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that's far more worse off than us. We'll make it, man. It's just our style, man. How many demolition derbies we've come in, as they're getting ready to roll, or how many times we rolled to the track, backing the car off and straight off the trailer, straight out onto the track and hot lap it. It's just, that's what it is. We're not going to give up. We don't give up that easy.
No, we never give up.
This is the inaugural No Name Nationals. We have to get there. Yeah, we get it. Like I said, if it come down to it, and we had to, like I said, worst case scenario, even if we have to just jump in a car, we couldn't bring a car and we had to drive there, like I said, this is a special thing, especially for all of us that's worked. Well, we got lucky with it, but I know a lot of you guys have worked extremely hard to get your subs to make it here. So, we're really looking forward to just coming and hanging out with the community, because we got the best community of all YouTube. There just really is. These people on here, these YouTubers, our group of people is the best. You go to any other channel, it don't matter how big they are, you got guys with millions of subscribers. The people in his comments ain't shouting out to each other, or they ain't helping each other, Yeah, they all like each other, they're all there for a common reason, but they're not like, why Uncle Tony's chat, his Sunday night tech that Uncle Tony used to do, the reason it got so big is half the time, while Tony was busy answering questions for everybody else, we were answering the questions for each other in the chat, So, there was a lot of nights in there, like when somebody would pipe off something with, fuel injection, especially General Motors fuel injection, or the LS platform, or, General Motors automatic transmissions, things like that, even like we had guys in there asking questions. He had a throttle body Chevy truck, and from his symptoms he was describing, we're like, hey, throw a coolant temp sensor in it. That's what it sounds like, but I'm a big fan. Don't ever throw parts. Anything, even an OBD1 car, because you can jump an OBD1 car with a paper clip, pull the codes out. It's not that hard. You go on Google, boom, look it up. They'll give you the diagram, take a piece of wire, jump 2 pins on the under dash connector, boom, check engine lights, get a blink the codes out. My 95 Ford, that's how we pull the codes on it. My with your 95 Tahoe I had, that's how you pulled the codes on it. Heck, that's how you reprogrammed the key fob alarms. You could put a jumper wire underneath the hood, set it, and then you'd lock and unlock it with the key fob a couple times. And then when you pulled the jumper wire out, it would set it in the computer. So, always pull your codes. I said, now with modern stuff, we have, these little OBD2 dongles you can order off of. I order mine off of either eBay or Amazon. It's that little Elm 327. Get that. Spend $5 for the Torque Pro app for your smartphone. And you can get a lot of data from that. Plus, we have HP tunes for that. I was just working on that file last night. I got to get here. I got some unlocked computers. I got one P59 here that is unlocked, but I gotta put a stock 5.3 with a 4L80 segment in it, because that one there, because the computer I have now, it's for a 6-liter with a 4L80, but it's got 80-pound, it's programmed for 80-pound injectors and a bigger cam, so I gotta change that for. Now the 6.0 that's beside me here, it's got the PO1 computer, and it's unlocked, and it's a stock too with a 4L80. So anything we can swap this motor in, but that would be kind of cool. I'd love to be able to find like someone say, yeah, I got this old junk motor home or van, drag it out of my yard, because that would be cool. I mean, if we find something like that that's going to end up with a 6-liter in, swapped in, when we do the 6-liter swap, we're going to do like a 24-hour live marathon. We're going to go live for 24 hours while we install the motor and get the thing up and running. I mean, I like to take John, if we can find it, I'd take John up on his idea. We get out here to the local pizza store and just change the motor in the parking lot. Wilburn says someone's got to change the motor in a Pizza Hut parking lot. I mean, I guess we could find something with an old crusty 350 in it, small block or something, and drive it halfway to Sykes, and if it blows up, we could just pull into a Pizza Hut and swap a 6-liter in it and keep driving.
That would be fun.
Yeah, well, it'd be different from the stock motor.
Like
that would be kind of, well, it could be doable. I just have to have my wiring harness pre-done. Like how I cut the harnesses for the 3-wire hookup.
Yeah, you'd have to have that.
I'd have to have everything set up just to be able to drop it in. Physically, the motor, we can bolt it in. We got swap mounts for it. Yeah, roadside swap. I think it'd be cool. It ain't like we ain't never fixed stuff on the side of the road before. I come past Advance Auto the other day, and there was some guy had his car backed in there, and he I don't know if he's changed a wheel bearing or an axle. Maybe he couldn't afford the core, the way things have gotten outrageous anymore. Maybe he needed an axle, but he couldn't afford the core charge, so you jack it up in the parking lot, take the old one out, throw it on the counter and buy your new one and go out and drive off. I mean, it's been done. I would do it. I have no problem with it. We got plenty of stuff, but we just want to take, we want to take the Cutlass down the track and say, because, we feel that we have a good contender for what's going on there. So we really want to get it there. Like I said, if we had to make it there without it, that's fine, we'll understand, but it would kind of suck because we've been waiting. I mean, literally, we've been anticipating since January to get there. So.
Yeah, it's been a wait.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, since it was announced.
Well, that time's ticking.
But when they announced, when John Wilburn and Dallas Brown announced the No Name Nationals, I think we had, 8 subscribers. Yeah, we was at like 8 subscribers, and it was basically just family and friends. And then, like I said, we got lucky and we ended up right place at the right time. We ended up close enough to Cumberland to catch the Freedom Rally there. But even after that, we had it, but we felt like we kind of cheated, so we worked on it good. Like I said before, I pulled that muscle on my back, we was at it pretty good. We picked up a lot of subscribers just in the month of July. We picked up just as many in that month as we did in all the months prior to that, so we're proud of that, and we're thankful for that. It just sucks, like I said, we haven't even been making lives. It's been so bad. I'm 4 weeks behind because of my back being hurt.
Here it comes, Mama.
Yeah. Here comes trouble now.
Trouble.
But yeah, we're 4 weeks behind on it.
Come on, Trouble.
Don't know what we're
Yes.
gonna do, but we'll make it.
Come on, Tips.
I'm gonna do Reprogram.
You want me to post you a video on his thing?
Go ahead.
We
No.
will.
I said I was gonna put it
Post a video
on
on
your
your
life.
last night saying, okay.
I'll post on the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No.
You ain't got the balls.
Hey, if it gets views,
I do.
You ain't got the balls.
hey, it wouldn't get views. You do a short of it.
It is
You
short.
can make
It's
it
only
into
2
a short.
minutes.
Yeah, but short's got to be under 60 seconds for a short.
Oh, yeah.
But shorts don't do us no good because we don't
No,
know
shorts
why
ain't
it's
doing
for
no
short.
good,
But
so.
we're getting there. I mean, what's this? We got a question here. No
What
part
is your
down.
question?
Anyone along the route from northeast to Sykeston, if you was to meet up, 84 and 81.
Hey, some of them videos though,
Oh, I missed. I need what's the rest of it. All right. Well,
Before I-84 and 81, before heading west towards Dunston.
Okay, well, okay, I see.
To join John.
all right, guys. Yeah. On that though, see, we're so far south that we'll probably be taking 68 over into Ohio or 70. See, we're not far enough. I know you guys are further up north to be able to come out 80, but we're going to be, like I said, we're south of, right now, we're south of the turnpike by about 25 miles.
you know,
Huh?
some of them,
I said,
Oh yeah, we're gonna join up with you, but it'll probably be,
welcome to join.
yeah, it'll probably be in Ohio by the time we meet up
Okay,
with these
he
guys.
says-
Yeah,
he said
yeah,
but
but I'm sure we'll run into them, but like I said, we'll probably be in Ohio by the time, because we're gonna be coming across the southern route.
some of them videos,
I have a charger, or a cord right here.
Huh?
I have a cord right here.
some of them videos will probably get a lot of views.
Yeah, but
Just saying. You know,
we
especially
didn't
when you-
ask, Amanda never mentioned it. Amanda, was she gonna go to Sykeston if we went to Sykeston?
So where, how?
Didn't know they nationals. If by miracle that, you know, that everything worked out,
I don't like really sweaty
would,
balls.
you know, would you be interested in going with us?
I don't know, that depends on my schedule. Oh yeah, feels good. Let's leave it right there.
Or is it, you know, we'll be leaving, when is it? It's Friday and Saturday, so Friday, September 30th, so we'd be leaving September 29th and we're coming back October 2nd.
You could do question
Give it to, get a, it's,
off.
well, Amanda did want to go because she wanted to stop at Richard's house.
Let's say why I'll go.
What?
We can make a visit to my brother's.
We need to pick Richard up, take him to the Nationals with us.
He would go.
Yeah, I know he would.
Yeah,
It'd be funny. Hey, what do you think, guys, if we stop? Because our good friend, he's a preacher, so I mean, at least if we pick him up, you know, we might get a little divine intervention to help us make it to the Nationals. Surely, right?
And also make sure you mention that.
Because
He's also blind.
Yeah, yeah, he's blind, but we don't care about that. But he's blind, but he's a blind preacher. But I mean, we can use all the help we can get.
And he's an ordained preacher.
No, I know he's an
ordained.
ordained minister.
Ordained.
Yeah, he's an ordained minister. He's got his
He
own
was
church.
He even thought.
He's literally got his own church.
Yeah, he went to
He went to
Dubuque,
college,
Iowa
yeah.
to graduate to become that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, now he wants to go further. His
Oh,
education.
so we'd take him to the Nationals. He could do the opening prayer.
He would too.
Yeah, I mean to start the.
He would.
Because you know every race, you know that you've been
Yeah,
to
you
every
need
race.
that,
They
yeah.
do it
Should always
usually,
have the prayer.
especially dirt track. At the dirt track or NASCAR, they always say a prayer before
Yeah.
the race. You know, pray all the drivers are safe, and keep the spectators safe. Everybody goes home. And
Yeah, he would too.
We know.
that's why we need to find a small camper, a motorhome. But you know our price range right now. It's like under zero. It's not zero, but it's very low.
Ain't no preacher can
I'm gonna
give
mess
you
him
the
up.
help you need.
Schultz.
You
Why?
ain't no preacher give you the help that you need.
I didn't come up on that one. Why?
No, he doesn't have to.
Hello now,
No,
just
wait a
kidding.
minute.
He's just kidding.
No, he's good. I mean,
No, you need all the preaching you can get, Schultz, not us.
hey, I got my
Schultz
certificate.
thinks
I'm
he's
ordained
cool.
too.
Cause he cussed too.
That's
Yeah.
why I said so. Is it Schultz?
You did a funny faces.
The laughing
I'm
face.
laughing, yeah, because I'm more dating too, technically.
But you can't marry us though.
No, you can't. No, you can't do it yourself anyway. That would be
No.
illegal.
I wouldn't want you to marry me now.
That'd be like
Richard
racing
could.
yourself. How you gonna race yourself?
I wanted Richard to do it, but he can't do it though. Because he's no longer in that church where we're getting married at, so he's not.
Still legally do it. But
I mean, he'll be there, but he's not
He can
married.
legally do it. Yeah, okay.
I already asked
I
him
believe he
about
could.
it.
I don't see why he
He's all
could.
out.
Because anybody can if it's ordained.
Yeah.
Because you technically don't have to be a preacher. You go to a judge. All you need is someone official to witness it. Because the license is actually what makes it official. You just need somebody to witness it, sign the license. That's what makes it legit.
But I asked him that, and he said he's not allowed because he's no longer a member of that church anymore.
I mean,
Don't do it in that church.
that's the church you want.
That's the church I want.
Don't do it in the church. Do it in the barn like you.
I want to do it.
I bet we do at the falls. And we can get Josh to come sing.
I can't believe him.
F-A-Y-E-T-T-E.
I'm about to marry these idiots right here now.
What do you call us idiots?
What?
I call it self-idiots. In other words, when you call me a dummy,
Like I said, fundamental
explain that one.
to the couple people, to the few people that are watching and we haven't ran off yet. Fundamental rule to life. Always remember this. You can sleep in your car, but you can't race your house. Always remember that.
Explain to them how you know you don't call me names, just call me a dummy. That's calling me a name, right?
I'm not.
Am I right, guys? Dummy's a name,
I was
right?
joking. I said, look what Dummy did.
What? See?
Oi.
Her new name's
Now I want to find. Hold on a minute. How many's on there? There's 6 of us. Okay. I want to. Okay, well I got 6. Okay. Listen, guys. I need your opinion on this. He does not call me names at all. Like he does not cuss at me, anything like that. But he called me a dummy the other day. So what does that consider?
He said, I said it lovingly. No part
No, he didn't. No, he did not. You
said
straight up said dummy.
I said it jokingly. I mean, you're the only one that would take it serious.
I thought it was a complaint.
Oh, yeah.
No way, I'm getting in the middle of this one. Just stick up for the female. Come on.
Yeah, it don't matter. Remember that. You're wrong regardless. Even if you're right, you're still wrong. So you just got to accept that. It saves arguments that way. Just agree, and even if you don't agree, say you agree.
You have something in your eye?
Yeah.
Hey, Schultz, nobody asked nothing from you. The peanut gallery over there. Just shut
No.
it.
Why you call him that? You weren't insulting him now. We're calling him the
Yeah, that
peanut
was
gallery.
so Schultz. by calling
Please
it
don't
peanut
insult
gallery.
him by calling him peanut gallery.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's what Tommy said the other
Yeah.
day to you. Remember?
Yeah,
He
that's
told you that, didn't he?
Yeah, you did.
Tommy told her that the other day. Happy
Yeah, because
day.
we had a little conversation between us, and you know what I mean?
If your car goes as fast as it possibly can, happy man.
Don't you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. No, you're not, Schultz. No, you're not.
Sorry, looking.
So therefore,
Sorry,
next
got
year,
caught.
whenever, you're standing at the altar waiting on me. I mean, up at the altar waiting on me.
Can we go live?
So you're going to say,
Yeah.
yes, dummy, I do.
No, but we can. Hey,
What?
We can do a live that day too. We'll
We
set the
could.
camera up, do a
That way
live.
they can see how you call me names.
I didn't call you a dummy, dummy.
See? You just called me a dummy. Move forward. Here's another one. It's cheaper to keep her.
Yeah.
Well, about this. Yeah, no.
Yeah, this one's got the champagne taste with the Kool-Aid budget. Right?
Champagne
Champagne taste with the Kool-Aid budget.
Why is it gotta be Kool-Aid? Why couldn't it be tea?
Because Kool-Aid's cheaper than tea.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on where you get it from.
No, pack Kool-Aid's 30 cents a pack. Tea's $2 or something or more about.
I might have to stow away in the bottom of a Greyhound to get to the no damn Nationals where we're going.
So, what are you trying to say here, dummy?
I'm not saying anything. What's implied?
Dummy.
Hey, the shoe fits. What'd you forget? Oh, because you forgot your debit card. That's all I said. I just said dummy forgot her debit card. I wasn't even talking to her. I technically didn't call her a dummy. I said it to you.
Oh, so now you're calling your poor old mother a dummy.
No.
That's even
No.
better yet.
No, I told mom. I told my mom you were the dummy.
Guys, listen to
because you
this.
forgot your card.
Now he's just finally admitting it. He's trying to say he didn't call me a dummy.
You
He
heard
meant
what I
to
said.
call
No,
his
I did, but I didn't say it to you.
poor old mom a dummy.
I'm
Who
not
is 63 years old, 64.
old. I'm not old.
I didn't say
A
it,
dummy.
but I didn't say it to you. I told mom you were a dummy.
Raindrops falling on my head.
He said that you.
I wouldn't say that in here. Yeah, that. Or rented shop leaks.
Now, I think you owe your mom an apology
He
for
didn't.
I
calling,
didn't call mom a
for
dummy.
calling her a dummy.
No.
He didn't call me a dummy. He said
I'm
that you
saying
was the-
I didn't actually.
He
when
said
I
dummy
called you
for
a
what
dummy-
cause.
When I called you a dummy, quotes here, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to mom.
So you was talking to your mom about me when you called me a dummy.
Yeah, but you were there, so I wasn't talking behind your back. You was standing there when I said it.
Oh my god. Guys, please help me.
All right, these guys
Please
tune in.
help
They
me.
want to hear tech talk. They want to hear
Yeah,
how
what
to
do they
make.
want to hear?
They want to hear how to take a $250 junkyard motor and make 600 horsepower and not blow it up.
That ain't hard to do.
But they have to help me
Go
through
buy
the
a junkyard
situation.
5.3 and a $200 eBay turbo and
There you
do a
go.
little magic. If you really want to spend a little, because the splooge, you spend $1,000 on the Holly. The Holly will keep it alive because that's better engine management. You can do it with a stock computer,
Yeah.
but
But
the
they
Holly's a
wanna-
lot better. For what you would buy, because if you don't have the Holly, you'd have say you want to do it with a stock computer. Okay, I got a stock computer. I would have to buy an aftermarket two-step box. You'd have to buy an aftermarket boost controller. You'd have to buy a wideband. You need a wideband to tune a stock computer anyway, so you're going to have all that stuff. You would have more, and then you got to go spend, if you're buying HP tunes yourself, you're going to pay like $700 for the HP tunes, and then it costs you $100 credit to license a computer. So, and then you're going to have another, it'll cost you, if you
I
got,
don't know who Mopar Dan is, but I love him, man.
Mopar Den's awesome.
I love
man.
him.
Oh, he
I
is.
do.
He's awesome. He
They
is.
come up with some awesome comments.
He's definitely,
comments.
he's good. He's got the humor. He's definitely fits in with our group. There's no doubt
Schultz,
in my
he's
mind.
just, one of us.
We can't.
I was-
Not sure.
no,
He never did nothing.
No, he never
Pretty
did
good.
that. I mean, I still got my company truck though. I've had it since
He
2008.
does need to keep you.
Thank
We
you.
need to upgrade on
Think
that.
for a valued, employee,
It's there every day faithfully.
I come into work hurt.
Even
Still-
hurt,
Even
can
hurt, I
barely
come to
walk.
work.
You can barely walk.
It's alright, though.
It should be.
I mean, I can't blame it. I love that truck. I wish that truck went to Russia. I love that truck. I'd take that truck over a newer truck any day. As far as I'm concerned, my feelings. Ford stopped making trucks in '97 because that's the last year of the F-Series that was worth anything to me. Used to for the longest time. Best looking Ford truck, 78, 79. Them were the best looking. But then my all-time favorite, feature-wise, got the best drive lines, best transmission, got better creature comforts, rides better, is the 92 to 97.
What was that blue one?
That was a 92. That half-ton, the regular cab was 92. It's a good truck. Cold air conditioning sits in. That truck had cold
Dwayne.
air.
Gotta be a newer one, laugh out loud. I know you don't like them.
Yeah, you're right.
Great.
Oh, I don't like them. I love that truck. Like I said, that that truck at this point, Smart Family, I've owned it since 2008. You give it to me in February of '08. That's how long I've had that truck. And that truck, it left me set one time.
Is it a Ford or a Chevy?
It's a Ford.
Oh, okay. Found on road day?
Fix your repair daily.
No, it's found on road day.
Or a backwards driver returns on foot.
Did you?
So,
Did you?
I never heard that one. When did it need to set?
When the
Yeah.
starter went out. That night at Savannah Shipley's birthday party, I took the truck, and Duffy was with us that night. And it was snowing and cold,
Oh, yeah.
and I went out, and the starter went out on it. And then
But that big Ford radiator didn't need to set.
no, that's a night. I had Duffy. Duffy towed me home with his halftime. He didn't like it, but he did it.
He did it.
What's everyone's favorite kind of vehicle that they've actually
These
ever
guys
owned?
like Dodgers. There's some Mopar crowd here.
Dodge people.
Listen.
Dodgers ain't bad.
No, Mopars are awesome as long as it's not the new Fiat.
Well, I want to know their kind of vehicles. You mean that they
I love
and
old
they love.
Mopars.
Oh, David,
You know, another truck. You have a few trucks. They're talking about. You have a few trucks that you really like. My
I've seen
favorite
one
truck.
identical colors for $20,000. It's beautiful, but not that nice.
Yeah, I ain't paying $20,000 for a house. I love cars. You know, I'm a cheapskate. Come on, Schultz. I pay $2,000 for one. I know he's what I'd say.
Yes,
There's
yes,
no
It
way.
is.
If somebody bought a brand new one in '95 and parked it in the garage and never drove it, I wouldn't pay more than $2,000 for it. It's old.
You got a truck that you have to take a suspension off of, lift off of.
What?
That truck, hot car, fine. It's got a lift on it, and he said you need to take it off.
I don't know, because some, I mean, you gotta talk to some you can't go back. You cut brackets off. Some trucks you can't go back to stock once you put a lift on.
He said, you know, you can do it.
Oh, you can weld brackets back on and stuff, but
Sam can do anything.
now everybody knows my truck, my next truck, well, I'll baby this Ford, but I told you, my next truck, it'll be probably a second gen.
He's gonna, I figured buying it
Schultz.
for your next
Company truck,
Yeah.
laughing face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need, my next truck will probably be a second gen Dodge. Like that black one that Josh had, like the one I put the transmission in.
Yeah,
That was a beautiful truck. Dually, crew cab, manual transmission, and the Cummins. 'Cause I want to
Well, you know, you're Sam, so whether or not it can be fixed, you know what I mean, or not, but you always find a way to fix it.
I do
You
always,
always find a way to do something.
I know, but
You always find a way.
yeah,
He said
I
he won't
always,
be able to get up in it if you don't take that lift off.
we'll dig a hole where he parks. You know what I mean? That way we can pull the truck in and he can
Yeah.
go slide right in on the seat.
So how's he gonna get in and out when he goes
And
somewhere?
we just have to stay in the truck till he gets home. Think about it, right? Okay, now look, like say this is the driveway, right?
Yeah.
We dig it down, then you can just drive the truck down in, and then the door would be even with the ground. You can just stuff right in the truck.
He'll probably be okay with that too.
Yeah, I know I could convince him to be okay with it.
Possibly.
I love him. He'd be like, yeah. And
We
then,
can do that.
yeah, but then you see your mom as the voice of reason would be the exact same thing my mom said. But how's he getting out when he gets anywhere?
That would be your mom with that.
And that'd
Your
be something that
And
they would
your
have
mom
to
would
figure
yell
out.
at him and be like, get out of here. What are you going to do, you? How's he getting out?
Yep, that's right.
Shit, I'm not gonna be able to eat for a year if I gotta buy a second gen Dodge.
I really want a first gen, but crew cab first gen dualies are really hard to get. Love to have first gen crew
He
cab.
don't need these.
Nah, he can go without. Hey, you miss a meal or two. Have you seen him lately?
Yeah.
Schultz be eating macaroni and cheese and oodles and noodles.
No,
I
he might
look
be
like I
without
live with
cheese.
him in here.
What is it?
That one cheese.
Ew, what's that nasty cheese?
Limburger cheese,
Yeah.
the stinky cheese.
Yeah, the stinky cheese. Yep, that'd be kind of cheesy. He'll be
I'm gonna sell it.
Nah, he's good. I mean,
Wow, now I'm gonna sell a kid. I gotta sell a kid.
Oh, can you get something out of them? Well, I let mine expired for selling, dude. They got too old now. I'm not even getting. No one's gonna buy teenagers. They're more trouble than they're worth. Dang it.
He don't have no little ones either. Where's he getting those kids at?
Yeah, because Kennedy's gonna be 15.
Yeah. She's teenagers. Can't sell her.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's a different story. No, we can't sell kids. We're not the left. Or the political. We're not gonna sell kids. Kidneys. Is your kidneys alright, Schultz? I mean, I got two. If somebody would trade me one for a decent.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
If somebody would trade me one for a decent truck, I mean, trade a kidney. I'm not beyond trading a kidney for a truck. It don't even have to look pretty as long as it runs good.
You better have a camper on it.
That one, honestly, that one we found that side, that would be perfect if it wasn't on the other side of Ohio.
Yeah.
We can get it for free.
That's
It's a
way out
slide-in
there.
camper. It's clear on the other side of Ohio.
You probably do it.
What?
You know, $100 for
And it goes in the bed of your pickup truck.
What the hell's wrong with it?
It's way
Nothing.
far away.
It's far away. He wants it out of his yard.
He wants it out of
And
his
it's not like the one they destroyed. It doesn't have a bathroom.
Schultz, I got an extra kidney.
I got an extra kidney too. I mean, he quit drinking years ago, so his liver might have recovered.
Oh, yeah, well, the doctor showed it.
I mean, his liver probably recovered. I mean,
Mine won't.
10 years ago, his liver wouldn't have been working. Oh, no, 15 years ago. Well, he also, he quit drinking. It wasn't long after Tommy's born. Tommy's probably only 1 or 2 when Schultz quit drinking. You should see that conversation, because Schultz just drank all the time, but he was miserable back then.
Yeah, yeah.
That one day, he just told Kayla when he got done drinking, he's like, I'm done. And she's like, you're nuts. Quit.
Well, when you get old, you know what I mean, like Schultz, then yeah, I mean.
Schultz is your age.
That'd be like it.
I know, but Schultz looks a lot older
Oh,
than me, though.
no, you just put your...
He's lived a hard life.
Yeah, look here.
He's lived a hard life. We've all lived a hard life.
I mean, Schultz is a lot older than me.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot older than me, but, you know,
That
he
one
looks
day,
older.
we
Way older.
was at work one day, and this one old lady, she asked him if me and Jimmy was his kids.
You?
Yeah. These are boys.
Yeah, they're my boys. This
These
is
are
my
boys.
oldest one.
Schultz works out, yeah.
I would have said, yeah, they're my boys.
Yeah, this one is 5 years older than me. 6 years older.
Yeah.
But Schultz born in 80, and he's the same age as Kenny. Yeah, he's older than Kenny. I think Schultz was born 80, what, or 80? I can't remember. I think he's born 482 because he doesn't use boater's license.
Wait. No, Kenny was born in...
Kenny was older, yeah. Yeah, I thought 80.
That was 40.
Yeah,
I
it
was
doesn't
born
say
in
that
80,
Schultz
so-
is the same age as Kenny. You might have answered. I can't read. I'm not
No.
getting on
Nothing,
that
nothing
tonight.
on there. I'm old.
80.
Yeah, 80. I thought he was born in 80, so you made me question.
He's 80.
Yeah, November. He's like a month older than me.
See? He's a month
He's
older
old.
than me, so
I know.
therefore he's old. See?
He's old.
That month makes a big
You know that
difference.
gray hair you see on the top of his bald spots?
Well,
right
he's
there?
had
Yeah.
that white
That
spot
white spot he had
since
forever.
he was a baby.
Kenzie, quit knocking on my man in his
that's
age.
Caleb. That's Caleb.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah.
Here, quit knocking on my man in his age.
He'll be alright.
He'll be okay.
That reminds me, and I remember that one that when they was talking about that with Big Chief. Or Sean said he called off that day, Big Chief, about missing a beat because he was calling off for
Shit, it's all gray now, he said.
he was calling off for Jackie's birthday. And he told Sean, he's like, I'm not going to be in the garage today. It's Jackie's birthday. I'm going to take the day off. And Sean, without a beat, he's like, yeah, well, turning 18 is a big deal. Because Jackie was so much younger than it.
Alright, guys,
She was
what's
older.
everyone's favorite vehicle that they've had when they was young or whatever and whatnot?
What was their favorite car they had?
Or car. Yeah, vehicle.
car, truck,
Yeah.
motorcycle, bicycle,
Yeah,
ride
anything
power.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was. That's I don't know. That's hard to pick.
I don't know.
What's your favorite one though?
I don't see. I couldn't pick a favorite because each one is special in its own way.
What's your favorite and why?
The one I missed the most is my Firebird formula, my '74 Firebird, because it was the second gen Firebird. Its formula, it had a factory fiberglass front end with the twin ram air hood on it. Beautiful car. Well, it wasn't beautiful, it was two colors, but it was a nice car. It was clean. And it ran good. It had a 400 in it. Pontiac power. I've always had a good soft spot for Pontiac.
Mine? I've been in two vehicles, 4 vehicles in my
I
life.
mean, I'm in
Mine, I like the Cavalier because it was my very first car.
definitely reliable.
I know, but that was my.
I love
Well, I never had any old vehicles. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't have any.
Them third generation Cavaliers too, especially
Well,
the 01 and older, the
One guy had.
93 to 2002, before the Ecotech.
Yep.
Those Cavaliers, they're gutless, but they are so freaking reliable. I mean, you can buy one of those cars for $200 and drive the thing for 10 years and not do anything to it. I mean, literally, don't change
But I
the oil.
loved it
anything.
because
Oh,
it
I
was
know
my very first
they're awesome.
vehicle.
They're good cars. I agree, they're good cars.
Mine was. Even though
I'm a GM guy, but even down the line, when it comes to GM stuff, I've always just put Chevy motors in because it's cheaper to make a Chevy motor run. That's the bottom line. Like I said, that's why I like the LS. The LS isn't much better than the older small blocks or small block Fords. And I love small block Mopars. I mean, I've had 360s that were just awesome running, great motors that I love. But the problem is you can't go to the junkyard and buy any other company motors like them new, the Hemis now, the 5.9 Hemis that's in the newer Dodges. Them motors make just as much power as the
Schultz.
Oh,
I'll
that's
take
right.
my 77 Ford F-250 back. Big blue.
Schultz. You're telling me that over your Toyota.
I like my Nissans.
Or my black Mustang.
What about the Toyota? When it was straight axle and dual case, when it had the nice flatbed on it, before the second roll that crushed the cab and took the windows out of it. We used to drive it, we'd go do pull installs with it when it was straight axle. He'd drive it on 35, he'd drive it to work. All three of us would jump in, we'd go do a pull install on that truck. A little Toyota. And it's still the heart of it too. I told him to go get another one and I got that dual case set up for it. You can have it.
Put that one back together.
I'm going to put that back together probably over the winter, after I get everybody else caught up and everything done. So I can work my own stuff.
We gotta get that one. We gotta get that.
And get everything else done. When I'm done with
Schultz.
everything
Yeah,
else,
it was my funniest truck. Little yoga. That clip.
yeah. When I get everything else done and I got nothing else to do, then I'm going to take the green four-door tractor apart, put everything back in this
Tony always liked
infrastructure
that
wheelbase
tractor.
anyway. Huh?
Tony liked that
It
tractor.
was his tractor.
It was his.
But we brought that home in 2010, so he told me it was a Ford when we got
Yeah,
it.
and that was his.
It's his, yeah, his tractor.
He played and that's his.
He just didn't, yeah, because it sat out here for a couple years before when we first got it. I brought it. Well, what happened? We bought it. As soon as I got it, I brought it straight in here. I backed it in. I done the straight axle swap on it. Got the big tires. I put the Toyota axles under it and all that. But I didn't swap the motor. We bought that wrecked motor out, that wrecked one for the motor out south the side that time. But and it sat, and Duffy is the one that convinced me. He's like, you gotta put the tractor together so you go four-wheel. So that's why. Probably ended up I never got put together with Duffy. He just wanted to go four-wheelers if I had to buy it.
He always said it was his.
Huh?
He always said it was his.
Yeah.
I'm going to jump off here in a minute. I'll be back. Thanks for the warning, Schultz.
Yeah, but Duffy's the reason why.
Not hurting stuff in the job.
Huh?
Don't hurt yourself when you jump.
Yeah,
Be careful.
He'll blow his knees out. But no, Duffy caused a lot. That's what I said. That was one thing about with Duffy, you had to be motivated because you didn't know how long you had, so you had to do something. You know what I mean?
Are you guys still on vacation, Schultz?
No, they're back. He just said he was back.
Oh, they're back.
They got probably yesterday or today, right? But no, I had a few years ago. My best friend, I met him probably a year after he had a heart transplant. And he lived up the road from me, and they got stuck. Him and my neighbor across the street was down in the woods cutting firewood one summer. While they was cutting firewood, the summertime was the only news. And him and Dougie was down there cutting firewood. Well, they got stuck. Both of them. So Dougie comes up, knocks on the door. He says, "Hey man, we're stuck in the woods. Can you come help pull us out?" All right, yeah, no big deal. I always get pulled. Someone's stuck in the woods. It don't matter. Usually, if I have the capability, if somebody's stuck in the woods and they call me, I'll go get it. You know what I mean? Because I've been stuck in the woods. So I don't like seeing, you know what I mean? So, but it was daylight. It was a nice day out and everything. So, all right, yeah, Dougie, I'll come and take you out, or come pull you out. So I go out. The tractor wasn't done. And the Toyota was tore apart. Now, that's when I was doing cage on the Toyota. So the only thing I had there was Tommy's Orange Samurai. Which Tommy has an 88 Samurai. It's on the stock Samurai axles. It has 512 ring and pinion out of a tracker. It has a 1.6 motor out of a tracker swapped in. And it had trail gear 416-to-1 transfer case, and it was on a set of 33 1250 Parnelli Jones dirt ropes. So I go out and I fire the Orange Samurai up, and I go crawling down through the woods. It's slow like the 4-doors, and he was out on long. Riding Dougie back down in the woods to get it. Grabbed, the recovery chains and stuff I needed. Duff admits to me, he's like, I seen you because he was talking about the first day he ever met me. That was the night before. That's when lightning struck literally like me to the garage door and my house. Blew the tree apart inside the house.
Yeah.
The night before I met Duffy.
Wow.
Yeah, I stand in the back porch 50 feet away when it struck. I jumped. I wasn't expecting that. Blam! But, so I get out and I pull in, and Duffy told me later on, he's like, when I first saw it, he's like, what's this dude gonna do with this golf cart down there? This stock Samurai, you want to see the little blue one back there, how little they are. They're down there in full size. Dougie's got, his is like an 01, it's like Dwayne's truck. That year Ford, like a 2001, 2002, 2003 Ford. F-250 stuck. Duffy's down there in that 96 F-150. His is an automatic with a half ton. So I get down there one by one, pull them up out, and then that's when I made friends with Duffy. And then,
You mean you made friends with people?
Yeah.
You got friends?
Yeah, I had friends, yeah. The day we went camping that day, he was sick. This is the last time he went camping with us. He was starting to get downhill. The average, when you have a heart transplant, it lasts 6 to 8 years usually is about what the average what the person gets. So we was coming up on close to that time. And we was going to the lake, and, hill and that, so Duffy had to go, Every time Duffy wanted something, I'd help him find it, something he could afford, and they'd work on it to get it so he could go with us, because he didn't have much money, he was just on disability, Like he wanted, a 4-wheeler buggy. I found him a $300 tractor that was beat up, but it run good, took it home, and welded the rear end, and put good tires on it. Made him a 4-wheeler buggy so he could enjoy life 4-wheeler. So, the time we was there, though, he's up there in his camper. He was having problems with it sucking dirt, because the people he got it off of, it sat a long time without being run. The thing was in really nice shape. It was a motorhome, but it sat a lot, so it kept sucking dirt up and clogging the carburetor up. and the float was sticking to everything. We make it up by, Laurel Lee, it's the bar. The old bar there going towards High Pile.
I believe so.
After you pass Kevin's Road, that bar on the right out there is going towards the High Pile. Anyway, Duffy pulls over the side of the road, and he's trying to get it started. He comes back and he's winded, he's tired, he's exhausted. He's just, he's finding his heart's starting to fail again, and we don't know it at the time. He just comes over and falls down basically in the grass, and he's like, everything's on fire up there. I was like, well, Duff, you gotta put it out. He says, he's like, everything's on fire. I go up there, top of the motor's on fire, and he don't smother the fire out on the motor, and he just walked away. He's like, everything's on fire.
Yeah, I did.
He was so sick that day, babe, that when he come down, he brought we was packing up, getting ready to go. He brings his camper down, pulls up in the yard with his camper and his boat, and literally goes and lays it, because where his was setting, and we had the air conditioner on in our camper, so it was nice and cool in there. So he gets out, goes in and lays on the couch in the camper while we're loading. He was sick, but he wanted to go so bad with us, it didn't matter how sick he was. He didn't want to miss going to camp with us.
Yeah.
I got all the pictures. I showed you that one day. I got a bunch of pictures of Hill and Duffy and all this at camp. Just me and Duffy, Hillary, or me and Duffy and Hillary and Finn. They call Finn's Finn because his name's Jonathan, but his brother couldn't say Jonathan, so they called him Jonathan. That's how he got his name Finn. That's why we call him Finn. But yeah, so we did that, but everything he wanted I built for him, Duff wanted a tractor to go four-wheel with us, and that's what inspired me to put the four-door together, because then obviously Duff wants to go four-wheel, so I gotta have my buggy to go four-wheel. So I did that, and like I said, we go four-wheeling all the time. That's how, me and Tommy always rolled the four-door. Tommy was always my co-pilot. We did it, me and Tommy drive the four-door, because Hillary always took her Pathfinder, because Hillary, since she's 14, she had that Pathfinder. When she first got it, it was on 31, then it was on 33. I can tell you some stories. You just, when he'll knock the fenders off of it or something, when we're out four-wheeling. I'm standing there and Stevie me the parking lot Hill. I'm like, Hill, look at this! Look at this! How do you... And she's just laughing, what can you do? She's only like 14, 15 years old, you know what I mean? I'd have her out at 14, I'd be like, we'd look at the weather and they'd be calling for a foot of snow. I'd be like, all right, we're going to the cabin, everybody get ready. And she'd get 14 and that Pathfinder up for a foot of snow. Oh, that's why she ain't afraid to drive in the snow now, because I've had her out. She's 14 and deep snow.
I don't like driving in the snow.
I like driving. See, I like driving snow because I like four-wheeling. So when it snows, you're four-wheeling on the road. You're not on the pavement anymore. You get to use your four-wheel drive. So that's one thing. I hate cold. I hate being cold. I hate living in the cold. But I do love to drive in the snow. I love it. I mean, to me, driving in the snow is just as much fun as making laps down the track or riding to the falls and going through the mud. Driving in the snow is that much fun to me, even if it's just in a stock pickup truck. I love to drive in the snow. What was she doing?
Lying under the table sleeping?
We do it. Watch it. We run everybody off yet.
No, I don't think we ran them off yet. They're probably getting tired of this. Huh?
What time are we in? What time is it?
9.
5 after 9.
Here we go. Where did I go for hours? But yeah, we got Duff all figured out. Got him done. So, the Stretch Samurai will be coming back together this winter. That'll be the winter project. But, like I said, I can't think about that project right now because I get too much other stuff I did before. That's last because the four-door tractor does run. So, if I need a buggy, it works. This whole shop is like one big beach. Everything gone. Everything out, put everything back in and clean it. That's it. You can get, what have I had in here at one time? I had 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I had the Swift and Samurai. I had 8 vehicles in here.
Yeah, you park them right.
Normally you can park normal vehicles, you can park you know, 2 deep, 3 wide. But with the little Suzuki Swift and the Samurai, you can go 4 deep in them. We had them parked here. When you do that too, you hit all here, live instead of talk, because sometimes I miss it out live. But yeah, so I mean, we're gonna do that. Our biggest thing now, like I said, is figuring out honestly how do you gonna do that? Any idea?
What?
How in any way, shape, or form, I mean, at this point in time, how are we making it 638 miles in
Where there's a
38
will,
days?
there's a way.
We got 38 days.
They always
like I
say.
said. And that was the thing. It's not that. This was announced in January, but like I said, honestly, I had never ever planned. This is the 5th Sunday my back's been sore and I ain't been able to do nothing. I mean, literally, I've lost 4 weeks in this summer not being able to do nothing. You know what I mean? Because I can't. I'm so afraid. Yes, it's starting to feel a little bit better, but I'm afraid to hurt myself.
You will.
If I go out and do something, if I twist the wrong way or pull, and you know how miserable I was for the first 2 weeks when it hurt really bad. I don't want to live through that. That sucks.
Don't do it.
You know what I mean? And I know we got so much stuff to do, but I don't know.
You can't do it.
I know they're relying on us, you know what I mean? Like I said, that's the thing, is John's relying on all the original people to make it. I don't even know how we're going to do that. Yeah, it's 683 miles, 10 and a half hours. Just like in Missouri. No, it's
10
not
and a
that.
half hours to get there?
Yeah, 10 and a half hours. That's not bad. I mean, but,
Yeah, I traveled that far.
well, no, we've all
I've
traveled.
actually traveled further than that.
Oh yeah, we've all traveled further than that, but
Oh, no.
have you seen the trailer?
No, I've actually traveled in Minnesota like more than once. And
Yeah.
that's a
See,
ride.
well that's the problem, like I said.
That's a ride.
But like I said, that's no big deal. Like I said, yeah, like,
Go better for Wednesday. Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
yeah, it's good because we're starving.
Yeah, we
Man
did.
had to take change in this morning.
You get hot dogs.
Yeah, we don't get hot dogs. You get ramen.
Hot dogs is in the freezer. There's no kind of
Can't afford hot dogs. You gotta eat ramen noodles. We get meat. How come you get meat?
Yeah, and he got ramen noodles.
Yeah, we gotta live on just noodles. And you get meat.
Well, I said hot dogs. I mean, I can show my hot dogs with you.
In all seriousness, though, like I said, that was the thing. Yeah, even a tow dog, or a U-Haul trailer, or a
He
tow
said
dog.
U-Haul.
KB got it. Okay, KB got a tow dog. KB got a tow dolly too. He got a trailer and a tow dolly.
He should be in the freezer.
Huh?
He should be in the freezer.
You should have bought that van. I could have got that van for nothing.
Welcome back, Schultz. Welcome back, buddy.
We should probably.
I could have got honestly, I could have got that for a couple $100. I didn't know it, but I didn't think I'd ever need it.
Yeah, but
That white van at home sold baby. I could have had that van. You know that, honestly, I could if I would have said I wanted that toss, even said
That
it,
van was actually nice.
I put the motor together, but that's nice. It was Kevin.
That's the van
Right
that we
off
took
the
down.
cabin.
Yeah, that's the one we took down Virginia.
Oh, yeah. I saw right in the back. Man, it's comfortable.
Yeah, that's nice. That's what that'd be. Oh, that'd be perfect to take them to go down there. Full car on a trailer.
Yeah, so therefore, you know, him and my mom's driving down, you know what I mean? I'm in the back just, you know, relax.
Yeah, that was probably 8-hour round trip. There's that. So it'd be like going to Sykes in one way. This can be level. Yeah, that's the other thing you'd be like, once you get out of Pennsylvania, it's level. You're not up down mountain like here, everything's up down mountain. You don't need a lot of power. Once you get out on the highway, pulling a car or a trailer, you don't need that power. You set cruise control at 70 and just let it be. But I gotta add that man. Honestly, probably give me that man. Because he said it because he didn't know I needed it, but I didn't need it at the time either. You know what I mean? But that would have been nice. That's a 3/4 ton Chevy conversion van. The motor in it would make it, but if I had that van, I'd put that in. Because that would get better gas mileage and that would climb hills like they were loving. I've looked all through. I've been
I
watching
wonder
one.
who you sold it to.
Huh? KB got it.
Katie's got it.
That's KB's van.
Oh, you want to ask Katie?
I've
What
tried.
Katie don't want to give it up.
I've been trying since February to talk about it. He asked me last night if I was taking hitchhikers with me to Nashville. I was like, yeah, take hitchhikers to take your car.
Take your van, we'll go.
Well, there's no room in a van.
But no, yeah.
Just camp out in a van. Why not?
That was, yeah, because there's down there, there's shower house at this track. It actually has a bathroom and shower. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to camp at the track.
How's it going?
How's it going? Huge Robinson. Hello.
Hello, man. How's it going? It's going. We're sitting here having a town
Newbie. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're here. You got any
Questions?
kind of automotive questions or anything, feel free to toss them out there and we'll do our best to answer it. I've been doing this
Well,
about,
I wouldn't know nothing about them, but you would.
I've been doing it about 30 years, so I mean, chances are I've probably seen it or done it.
I
So
know a little bit.
if you know something or need to know something, feel free, man. We encourage it. Ask away. We're sitting here having a discussion on our way to
First live.
Sykeston.
So this one here is your first live that you've been on?
Cool buddy, have you heard of the No Name Nationals? That's what we're all working towards. There's
Yeah, been doing it a long time, huh? Yep, that's his first live.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining
Yeah,
us.
thank you very much. But yeah, Austin, unless you think about Austin, they must be running the junkyard jet thing about Austin. But no, John and Dallas the other day, they announced that there's going to be a point system down there. So the more stuff you compete in, you're going to get points. But they're not giving away how to get points because they don't want people to game the system. I mean, the first
Yeah,
night,
well, that's good though.
the first
Yeah, but
night
I mean,
we're
that
gonna
gives
do-
everybody a
yeah,
chance.
the first
You
night
know
we're
what I
going to
mean?
do
But-
bracket racing. Which is, win our bracket racing. You get points for that. The winner of the bracket race, I think, was like
Go
$500.
to
Yeah.
03.
Okay. And then after the
Got
bracket,
an 03 Vic P71 thinking about building a stroke 351W for her.
there you go.
That'll work.
Yeah, that'll work. P71. That's a tank, man. That's a good platform. And we have nothing bad at all to say about that. That's the last of the true body
Everyone seems to be
cars.
LS swapping everything.
Well, we LS swap stuff, dude, because it's cheap. I mean, literally, like I said, here in our area, you can get an LS for
He
$250.
wants to be different.
Yeah.
He wants to be different.
Oh, there's nothing. Hey, more power to you, man. That's awesome. If you want to do different, that's fine. Like I said, the only reason we're into LS motors because they're cheap. Like I said, there's the thing that
Where, he said.
I have everything invested in my car. If I go out, if I blow my motor up, I'm out $250.
He wants to know where.
What?
Where everything's cheap, probably. I don't know.
Well, the motors in the Northeast where stuff rusts, LS motors, like I said, literally the junkyard 3 miles from the house here, I can buy 5 3s all day for $250 with the harness and a computer.
Well, I'm in between LS 6.L or 351W.
Yeah.
6L.
I mean, like I said, it depends on if
He's
you're.
in,
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh, Fayetteville. I have family in Fayetteville, North
Yeah,
Carolina.
he did.
What's the weather like down there?
That's her grand sister, Faye. Fayetteville.
I wonder what the weather is like down there right now.
But like I said, dude, it depends on how much. I mean, how brand loyal you are. Because honestly, you can pick up a 6-liter. And my personal opinion is just put a 5.3 in it because you can run a smaller turbo. But the problem is the 6-liter puts you at that threshold between running like a 78, 75 will make more power on a 5.3 than on a 6.0.
Pieces for an LS swap, but la la la.
Hey, there you go. There's a lot of guys on it, and like I said, you can take a junkyard 5.3, get it home, pull it out, gap the rings, throw the turbo I have on my Cutlass on the channel. It's $280. It's just 78, 75 on a T4, which like I said, I got it on a 6-liter. And that's my problem is the 6-liter is a little bit too big a motor for that turbo, so I brick wall it around 650. and that turbo can't flow enough to feed my motor. But however,
I'm not wanting to make 1,000 horse laugh out loud.
no, I mean,
450 to 500 will.
oh, dude, honestly, go with a 4.8 or a 5.3, go with a 78, 75, and you can do that on pump gas. You know, you can do 450 easy on pump gas, and you can do, 600 or so if you're willing to run the 85, but it's just going to take a little bit bigger fuel system to run the 85. I don't know how E85 is in your area. Around here, it's pretty plentiful, so that's all we run in our boosted cars.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, well, yeah, you save a lot of money. I mean, 351 Winder, that's a good motor, man. That's a very good motor. But like I said, the magic of the LS motor is we buy them, we put a cam and springs in them and a turbo. And like I said, if you have a bad day at the track and you window the block or anything, you're out a $250 long block. Go back to the junkyard, get another one. You don't open them up to let the magic out. You just, don't worry about bearings. If the thing's held together and ran for 300,000 miles, there's nothing you're going to do to that motor, get in there yourself, that's going to make it more reliable. That's it. Matt Happel taught me that, and it's changed my life.
It's free, but
How that goes.
Yeah. Well, 351 too, like I said, see,
it's free. He got it for free.
yeah, I mean, I would run a 351 for free. Heck with it. Just, go get. The biggest thing with anything tuning-wise is you're going to have to figure out engine management. That's really where it's at. I mean, but I've seen a lot of, like, Fox Body guys that are running Ford motors that are running the Holly. The Holly engine management, like just the Terminator, I can't recommend it enough, because it's so much better because instead of tricking a factory computer and, pulling tricks to make it do what you want it to do, that Holly computer, you tell it what you want to do, and it, because a factory computer, its whole existence is to meet emissions.
And Jennifer around here is 400.
400 plus 50 Ford and 50 Hornets and about 600 after.
Man, I need to just load up a truckload of LS motors and just start selling these things. Honestly, no, and I mean, it's selling them reasonable, not like getting rich,
no,
that's what I said, yeah.
Holly, Terminator, laugh out loud.
Yeah, the Terminator, though, like I said, for a boosted application, or if you're a street driving, that's probably better. You can run a blow-through carburetor, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, for raw power, the carburetor's, probably going to make more power. But, the only problem with the carburetor is the Holly, you can control your timing, you control your fuel, you can build safeties, you can control your boost. Heck, if you want to, you can throw nitrous on it. That Holly has a built-in nitrous controller. So, I mean, for a little over $1,000, you're getting a wiring harness, a computer, a 3.5-inch touchscreen dash, and a wideband computer. And I mean, I'm not sponsored by Holly. I paid for my Holly, but I tried running factory computer, and yes, it'll work, but I was never happy because I couldn't trust it, because I said, this Holly, I got in there and I said it, hey, if my injector duty cycle goes over 95%, shut it down. You know what I mean? That way, if you got a clogged fuel filter or a pump going bad or something, your other injectors are really trying to ramp it up to make up for it, to where with that factory computer, you just burn it up, because the factory computer would never know that. And a Holly, like I said, you can adjust individual cylinders, because like on these LS motors, the back two cylinders run hot because they're the furthest away from the water pump. So what we do is usually put 2% more fuel in the back two cylinders and pull with a couple degrees of timing out each one. That's another thing. Having a distributor limits you on how much you can manipulate your timing when you're tuning. You're limited to your advance curve and how much you can turn your distributor. They have, like MSD makes aftermarket boxes and stuff that you can plug in there to control your ignition timing. But all that comes with the Holly. It's it. Heck, the Holly, you get a wideband with it.
Not yet. Hopefully soon you'll have that soon.
Yeah, and the Holly.
Sponsor soon.
Yeah, no, probably. I mean, we ain't worried about that. But the Holly, the thing about the Holly is too, is the closed loop fuel control. And there's literally guys, if you go watch Sloppy Mechanics, like I said, he's inspired. He's the one that inspired me to do the LS stuff that changed my life. I mean, I've never had so much fun that I have driving my Turbo LS car. It's my daily driver. I love it. But I learned that from Matt Apple. But Matt Apple is literally his tunes. He puts bass tunes up for free. You go on his website, if you find a car that's basically got what you're running, you download that tune, put it in your Holly. There's guys that did that, never been down a track today, went and run 9-second quarter-mile pass. You know what I mean? Because that Holly's closed-loop fueling won't let you blow it up. They'll correct it. As long as you got enough injector to get the fuel to it, that Holly will connect it.
I've seen him a bit. He's good.
Yeah, oh, he's great. He's made hot rodding fun again, because there for the longest time, and I remember his hot rodding guy out of control. There in the 90s with your pro street stuff and all that. Hot rodding got so expensive that the average guy couldn't do it anymore. And then, old guys, if they got something, nothing against old guys because they paid their dues and they have their experience. But you go to the track, everything's secret. Bro, I don't care, dude. Your Duster runs 14 seconds. I'm not picking on Mopar because there's Fords and Chevys there, that's so too. But I'm not going to come over and sneak under your hood because your Duster that just ran a 14-second pass with one plastic seat, plastic windows, no interior, and open headers. Okay, cool story,
That's
man.
true.
And I drive my car from the house to the racetrack, which is a 40-minute drive, and run a 1071 pass, then drive it back home. And then drive it to work Monday morning. On E85, pump E85, did I get it, the local gas station. But them guys made it so out of control, and Matt Apple brought it back to everybody again. He showed you, everybody go, if you want to run, you want to make power. Yeah, if you want to make reliable power, if you're competing for big money, yes, you got to spend big money. By no means, there's a reason that there is $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 racing. Those exist because those people need those, and the money is there. What is it? Yeah. Well, the money's there. Like I said, if you're competing, you have to. Like another good guy is Devin Vanderhoof. He's amazing with wiring. He's like the best wiring guy I've ever seen. This guy's amazing when he does his stuff. But Devin has a lot of money in his car, and Devin don't necessarily believe in the sloppy stuff. But they're at that stage. These guys are running less than 4-second 8 miles.
You said what I want is kind of smooth idle, but knock the tires off the wheel.
There you go. Honestly, a 5.3 with a GT45 turbo with factory decap truck injectors would do that.
Yeah.
You can make, 500 wheel and have the thing smooth as any other street car. You can drive it to get ice cream with your kids and do burnouts on the way.
So at 5, 3 liter with a 7875.
Yeah, that would be that would be I would go with, like I said, I'm running they call it the sloppy stage 2 cam, which it's a trick. Well, the GT45 will work if your goal was only to make like less 600 or less wheel. That GT35 or GT45 will work. But the problem with the GT45 I don't like is it has a funky outlet flange. It's like a 3 1/4 V band, and it's hard to wear. If you buy like the 7875, it actually just takes a standard 3-inch. The lower one, like mine, I got a 7875 billet, but it's not the good one from Varenne. Mine was $280 shipped, but it takes an actual just a 3-inch standard V band flange and a standard T4 flange.
That's a cheaper than a Stroker 351.
Yeah, and then like I said, if you have a bad day and you blow it up, how much you're not out any money. That's the thing. You're out $250 short blow. Or, even $400 if you got a manifold. I was looking for that manifold like showing. Heck, you can take LS manifolds, you can flip them. You can take a turbo manifold with a flip manifold.
What are you trying to find a manifold to show him?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Here, I got one I was working on. I got this right here I was working on. Here's the other thing. This is a driver's side exhaust manifold off of a 5.3. Now, the nice thing about them is you can swap them side to side on an LS and flip them around. So factory, this one dropped out, and you see I cut it, and I started working this tubing. This is for when I do my twin setup, when I go to twin 7875s on the car. Because like I said, the 7875 is a little bit too small to run for the 6 liter.
It's less than $300 for a tuber. That's good stuff.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Less than $300.
yeah, and then you can learn, like I said, because there's the thing, even if you got to go spend $1,000 on a Holly, okay, you have it. So no matter, even if you blow it up, if you're learning and you're blowing up and you're having fun, I mean, because they're, like I said, there's a place in this world for high dollar motors and high dollar parts. Yes, there's guys, you know what I mean, that are racing at a competitive level. But if you just want to put your kids in the car, go get an ice cream cone and do 500-foot burnouts and, you know, just take them out to an old parking lot, you know, and rip some donuts in the car, you know, and get them into this car culture. Or if you just want to make all the Subaru and Honda guys mad in your town because you're big Crown Vics out there and it's faster. Look at Cameron Vic's Crown Victoria, because Cameron Vic got one. It runs 8s, and he can drive it on the road. You know, but so you know, you invest in that Holly, you invest in a decent turbo. Like I said, yeah, the stock cam will get you there. You know, the stock cam will probably get you a good 450 or so street driving. You know what I mean? If you go up to, like I said, go up to a little bit better camshaft and valve splash.
Yes, sir.
Burnouts and ice cream, yep. Smooth as can be. But there's the thing, you can learn and you can have fun because you ain't got to be stressed. If I had a $10,000 engine and I'm like when we go to the track or when we're just out here playing around on the back road, like today, look how many times I've smoked the pistons in mine, doing something that I'm learning. I don't know. This turbo thing to me is new. This is
my daily driver.
Hey, mine's my daily driver. If you go on the page and look, since you're new, you said it's your first live. I'm not sure if you've seen the car on our page yet, but that Cutlass, I literally drive it every day.
Yep.
You know, we live in a rural area, but I mean, I drive it through the city. The cops just shake their head at me because they know me. They know I'm not out causing trouble. They know me. I've lived in this small town my whole life. So they know we're not out there causing trouble, so they just usually shake their head at me and just keep driving. I roll past them on slicks. Now the state cops probably, but honestly, I'm pretty genuine that the local cops in the city of Connersville is not going to bother me. If they did pull me over, it'd be like Parlac used to do years ago. Thorpe, go home. Put your other tires on it. Put the idiot.
I'm new to turbo too.
Well, as I said, and that's the beauty about the junkyard LS. If you screw it up and blow it up, big deal. A 4.8 will get you where you want to go, and people practically throw them away. Nobody wants the 4.8s. Because everybody won't eat. But Matt
Where are you
Happel,
guys out of?
we're out of southwestern Pennsylvania. We're like 40 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. Right here, we're at the face of the Appalachian Mountains. What's up, dude?
I'm just coming out and see what's going on.
No, we're live. We're talking. Now we're happy. We got some guys in here asking some tech questions and talking about stuff. That gives us pros and cons. But no, you don't gotta be stressed. If I had a $10,000 motor, I'd be scared to drive it.
Here, sit down, Mom.
Yeah, I'm gonna know where they're at.
But I don't have a $10,000
You said, okay,
motor.
cool.
Yeah, I don't have a $10,000 motor. There's another chair there too.
I got one.
I don't have a $10,000 motor, so therefore I'm not happy. Like this. This was a learning lesson. Stuck fuel injector. The injector was stuck open. I didn't know it. I cranked the motor over. I hydrolocked the cylinder, bent the connecting rod. Beauty about the LS, I could never do this when I ran small block Chevrolet. I just got another rod, slapped it in, and ran. No balance in it, no nothing. Reuse the head bolts, reuse the head gaskets, reuse everything. Change it, put it back together. It's been together 2 years, actually 3 years since I bent this rod. I bent this rod before the car was even on the road. When I first put the motor in it, I bent this rod and set the car on fire. You know, but you know.
Bent that rod. Bent that rod.
And then this was last summer. I was doing burnouts with Amanda's stepdad. I was showing him what 500 horsepower feels like. and I had too small of a fuel filter. Well, if your fuel filter can't flow enough volume, even the Holley correcting, the Holley was 100% correction, it still couldn't get enough fuel in there. So, I knocked the ring lands off a piston. Wonderful. Go on eBay. Would pay $60 for a piston and rod to come in the mail. Got it out. Took my angle grinder. Got my rings. Pulled the heads off again. Put it in. Reused the head gaskets again. I've had my heads off on my motor 6 times. And I've reused the head bolts. But you go on, like I said, you go on them sites of the old heads. Oh, you can't reuse them head bolts. They're junk. They're torque yield. Yes, they are torque to yield. But once the stretch is out of them, if you torque them down, they're not going to move. I mean, I've hit 22 pounds of boost, and like I said, that I reused my head gaskets and bolts 6 times. And you know what? If I break it again, I'll do it again. Until that head gasket don't work no more, I'll keep using it. But because this is a spare good rod, no, this rod here is bad. This is a rod I messed up when I put the motor together. But yeah, that's the beauty of the LS, buddy, man. If that's the thing, you can have fun with it. You don't got to be
You said,
stuck.
damn, laugh out loud.
Yeah, and we're used to breaking stuff, and it's no big deal. That's the thing. If this was a $10,000 motor, if this was a $1,000 set of pistons, I'd be upset. Honestly, if it cost that much, I couldn't afford to do it. I mean,
This is why we can't have nice things.
but I have way much. I never afford to run.
Copper spray?
Yep, copper coat. Copper coat, yep. I just copper coat them. I clean them up. When I pull them off, is usually what I'll do is I'll lay the gasket on the table and I'll take a wire wheel on the drill and I'll clean the old copper coat and everything off because it's an MLS gasket. I'll clean it real good with brake clean, lay it down, and I'll copper coat both sides of it, slap it together, and I torque the rod bolts back down to about 65 foot-pounds. Haven't had an issue yet. No blown head gaskets on the motor. 3 broken pistons, 2 bent rods, miscellaneous parts, but I've never blown a head gasket on it. I've even overheated it and I've blown a head gasket. So, I mean, it's a good setup. And like I said, that's the biggest thing that'll save you a pile of money. Heck, we've even I've sprayed nitrous through them. I mean, if that's the case, you want to just go buy you a 4.8 and spray a 200 shot of nitrous. Yeah, I torqued the heads. The heads torqued to 65 pounds if you're going to reuse the bolts. That's what's worked for me for years. That's what Matt Happel, through his years of experience with the motor, because Matt Happel's been doing these motors since like 2008. He started his YouTube channel in 2006, but he's been working with the LS platform for a long time, you know what I mean? And his number is 65. I use his numbers. I've never had an issue. So when I put an LS back together, the LS, they're Lego motors, man. You can mix and match parts as long as the rod and piston come out of close to the same year as the motor you broke. You just drop it back in and run it. I've never had a balance issue. I've never had a shake issue. The factory tolerances are all within spec enough that you can pretty much just mix and match parts and go. I mean, if you find an older motor, you know, the thing with the LS motor is you want to run a truck block. Don't be caught up on the aluminum block, because the aluminum block, yes, it's 50 pounds lighter, but that's the absolute only advantage. Because even once you start getting into big power with boost and everything, that aluminum block will move around a lot compared to an iron truck block. So for 50 pounds, it's not worth the price. I mean, you think about how many more. Look what's an aluminum block LS motor runs. And I've had, like, Matt Happel, he's tried even, like, some trucks did have an aluminum block 5.3 in it, but even I've seen a lot of guys that run it and end up having issues. The iron block.
I was thinking a 6.0 liter because I've never messed with turbos.
Well, that's why I said, I mean,
The turbos seem to be where it's at.
yeah, well, you can do a 6.0, but like I said, looking back, I didn't know. I was right where you were at, like literally like probably 5 years ago. I was in your exact boat that I've always played.
L33.
I played with small block Chevy, small block Ford, small block Mopar, you know, inline 4-cylinders, import 4-cylinders, things like that, Hondas. I played with all that stuff. But I was like, oh, I'm going to go LS swap, you know, and then that's when I found Matt Happel, you know, but that was early days, it didn't mean anything. I'm thinking, well, okay, if I'm going to run an LS, I'll get a 6.0. Yeah, you want a 6.0, 6.0, 6.0, 6.0, 6.0. Think about it. A 350 is a 5.7, so a 6.0, you know, it's 30 more, or 300 more cc's than a 6.0. Because a 6.0 is 6,000 cc's. A 5.3, you know, is 5,300. A 350 Chevy is 5,700. 6 liter is only 363 cubic inches. It's not worth the money because that's the problem. Everybody with the 6.0, most 6.0s cost double what the 5.3s and the 4.8s cost. That's where you're going to save your money. Is you call the junkyard up and ask them about a 5.3, be like, hey man, you got any 5.3s or 4.8s, you know? They're like, oh yeah, you know, come get, you know, 250, 300 bucks, come get them. Call that same junkyard and ask them for a 6.0 and they're going to tell you 800 bucks. And that's just the problem. Not because the 6.0 is a much better motor, but because everybody thinks they got to get the bigger motor. Also, like I said, you want to just learn, you want to have fun. If you can find a 4.8, get a 4.8. I said the best thing with the LS motors though, is you want, there's a sweet spot. Around 2004, 2005 is when they put the, 2004 they put the good rods in because the 99 to 03 truck motors have a powdered metal connecting rod. And I mean that for your horsepower level you're talking about going, that's not a problem. You'll be fine with that. You know, those rods can easily do 500 tire, no problem.
Yeah, 6.0s are freaking double. They are like 15 to 1,800 around.
Yeah,
there.
well, that's what I mean. Start out, go buy you a 4.8 because there's the thing. The stuff you buy, if you're buying injectors, you know, if you're buying the stuff for your turbo setup anyway, all that'll bolt on a 6.0 later. So, you know, if you get it all, put it all together, and you decide, you know, a year from now, hey, I want to go to a 6.0, after you figured out how to tune the thing, so you're not breaking pistons like I was the first couple, you know, months of it, or you're not, you know, all this stuff, you can always upgrade to a 6.0 later. You can, like I said, literally, dude, they throw these 5.3s away. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, don't watch it. She's probably backing out. But, yeah.
What 05?
Well, like I said, yeah, 05's good. Here's the thing, around 06 though, they changed the trigger wheel on them. They got the, everything from 04 and up is good because it's got the better rods in it and it's got the floating pins. That's another thing. If you see on this, these have floating pins. So, you know, having a floating pin makes it easy if you do jack a piston up. Would I know what engine comes in an 05? Okay, yeah, you can get, in 05 there was 4.8s, 5.3s, you know, there was 6.0s, see the Escalade, okay. The Escalade is going to have the LQ9, it's going to be a 6.0. 05, I think see, I don't know if the 6.2 is available yet. It's either going to be a 6.0 or a 6.2 though. Yeah, the 05 Escalade, it's going to be, you know, more than likely it's gonna at least be an LQ9, which is a 6.0, or you know, or it's gonna have the 6.2. I can't remember which year they switched that over. But no, the thing is, with the 04 and up stuff has the better connecting rods. It's got a press pin, so you can change that piston at home. When you do learn and you do lift a ring land off a piston, you can change it at home. You're not stuck with the pressed on rods. Now, you can always upgrade too. Now you can put the pistons and rods out of the 04 and up stuff will go in the older blocks, no problem. And I know guys that's done it without even having the assembly balance. They just, you know, put different pistons and rods in. But heck, Matt Happel had a motor that made like 7 something. Literally had different pistons in it because on these LQ or on these 6.0s, the LQ4 has a dish piston like that, and then the LQ9 has a flat piston, and then the like 06 and up 6.0s have one that's notched for the valves. So, but he had two different cylinder heads. He had one, one was a head off of a Corvette on the one bank. He had a pickup truck head on the other, a 243 that was ported at home. And two different kinds of pistons in that motor, and that motor made like 750 wheel. And it stayed together. That's the other thing. But that's why I recommend, like I said, if you want to get into the LS stuff and the turbo stuff, and you do, I recommend don't get 6.0 NV. You don't need a 6.0. It said all the 6.0 in the beginning is going to do is cost you more money because the price of admission for a 6.0 is a lot more. And also another thing, a 78, 75 or the GT45, whatever, the cheaper turbos are a little bit too small. Yeah, see, you could have an aluminum block in that 05 Escalade. It's very possible that it has an aluminum block. See, I know, like I said, that I know they played around that they had 5.3s in the pickup trucks that had aluminum blocks. I mean, so I'm not sure what year they put the aluminum block in the Escalade or not. I know the early ones, like my friend had an 03 and it had an iron block in it with aluminum heads. And then you got to watch too, because the first year for the 6.0, the 99, it had iron heads on it too. They're the exact same casting as the 317 heads on the regular 6.0, the aluminum one. Hugh, I recommend 5.3, honestly. They're so much easier to get. Parts are a lot easier to find, and like I said, a 78 millimeter turbo is on a T4 flange. A T4 flange is really kind of small for a 6.0. I have problems if I'm on a long pull with mine because I got a T4 flange and I'm pushing everything from that 6.0 through it. I have problems. My manifolds will get a little bit hot on a hard pull. Like my house, when I leave the shop, I got to drive up the mountain because the elevation of my house is about 2,000 feet. My shop's at about 800 feet, but you got to drive through the river valley down to probably 600 feet above sea level or so, then back up to my house. And if I run it hard on that pull up the mountain to my house, I can make my exhaust manifolds glow because that T4 is a little bit too much restriction for that 6.0. If I had the 5.3 with the same turbo, I would probably make more horsepower. Because Matt Happel, like I said, I keep saying Matt Happel, but he's really taught me a lot. I can't be. But he's made 700 plus with the 5.3 with the 78, 75 billet. Like the Gen 2 billet 78, 75 that DS Racing sells. He's made over 700 with that, close to 800 on E85. Amanda, can you come there? I gotta walk around the corner.
Huh?
As I gotta walk around the corner and take a look real quick. He was talking. I don't want to leave and not anybody talking. Like that. So just say hello and I'm talking back.
Hello, John. Welcome. You new to the group? John is? He's new to the group? What holds the wristband? Alright, guys. He had to go to the restroom, so I'll let him answer them questions because I don't know much about vehicles. I know how to change oil, I know how to change tire, I know how to put gas in it. I know how to put it in drive, reverse, and just go. I'm not sure exactly where he left out at. Huh?
I said, we was talking about the turbos on the 5.3. I wish the one night I didn't bring the car back to the shop. If I'd have brought the car, I could open the hood up and show it, but you can go watch the videos. I go over it extensively in some of my videos. But I mean,
Alright, so I'm not sure exactly where you left off at on here.
we was right here about the 5-3 tank. It says the spell.
Respin, have it spin the buttons.
What holds the wrist pin? In the 04 and up motors, there's a circlip that snaps in and holds the wrist pin in. I got a small screwdriver here.
The screwdriver?
I got my little straight. I need to pop resistant clip.
Where's your straight? Right there.
I can use
By your left foot.
I need a screwdriver. But see, in the take the focus there. In the 04 and up motors, they have just this little spring circlip retainer that holds the wrist pins in. That's why I said if you can get an 04 and up motor, you're better off. That's what holds the pins in the 04 and up motors. Is that in the older motor, in the 03 and down, they're press pins. So that means if you smoke a piston, when you order your rod and piston off of eBay, you'll just have to order one that's already assembled.
He said thanks a lot. Good night.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Thank you, man. Thanks for stopping in. We're here every Sunday. Any questions, anything along the way, we want to help.
And then huge Robinson, very nice. 800 is definitely a bit much for me right now. My cars is 4,200 pounds, so I want to get used. I want to use it in the stages.
Yeah, well, you don't have to turn. Like I said, that's the nice thing. Like I said, I don't know if you was here and caught when we was talking about the Holly. The beauty about the Holly is you can run a light spring in your wastegate, and I mean you can have the thing, basically running around on gate pressure, and only make 375, 400 wheel, and when you're driving around, and then when you want to, you can turn the boost up and feed it. Yeah.
I just found your channel, so now I can watch your videos. Sweet Sunday night is live night.
Yeah.
Thank you, Huge. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Cause I said the one night, next Sunday, I'll bring the Cutlass back to the shop. But the nice thing about mine right now, I street drive it. I have my boost controller on the Holly, because the Holly has a built-in boost control. Even in that low Terminator, it has a boost control. I got it set up with a 3-port Mac valve, and I got it for normal street driving. I have it limited to about 18 pounds is about all that it'll make on that. My Cutlass weighs 3,500 pounds, and the last pass we made, I usually run at 1/8 mile. We broke it on its fastest pass it's made to date. We broke it at about 1,000 feet. I have a video of that. It's on one of my shorts when we broke it, but 600 horsepower in a 3,500 pound car, that's a 10-second car. That's a car, figure, look at the 1/8 mile, that's a city block. I mean, that's an easy term that everybody, can relate to. If you have, a 650 pound, or horsepower, 3,500 pound car, you got a car that's capable of going from a dead stop to 100 miles an hour in a city block. I mean, my last pass, it said it went 687 at 103 in the 1/8. Like I said, I drive that car every day in that form exactly the way it made that pass. And that wasn't its best pass. The car actually has, can do a lot better, but I'm learning how to make it faster. The car has the power, but said, if I had it all to do over again, I would have started with a 5.3 and not a 6.0, because like I said, I know right now in my heart I can make more power with the 5.3 with the turbo I have on the car right now. I mean, next year that won't matter because I'm going to put twin 7875s on it, and then I won't have that restriction
Very nice,
anymore.
you said.
You know what I mean? But there's cheap stuff out there. I mean, for what most guys want to do, if they just want to have fun, a junkyard 4.8 or 5.3. I mean, you can have a set of injectors flow. You can decap a stock injector; it'll flow almost 80 pounds. Or there's quality 80-pound injectors out there for a reasonable price. An 80-pound injector will get you a long way, even on E85. It'll get you in the 500 horsepower range. So It's
Make
definitely
sure
gonna keep-
you subscribe and like the videos.
He is. He said he does. I'm sure he's a subscriber. But yeah, definitely. But if you're new to the channel, as everybody know, there's this thing going on in Sykeston, September 30th and October 1st. It's called the No Name Nationals, and it's an AHRA event for content creators. To participate in the event, you have to have 500 subscribers or more to participate. Spectators can watch. You don't have to have subscribers to spectate. Spectator tickets are, if you buy them in advance, they're $15 a day, and they're $20 at the gate. Friday night is going to be bracket racing and the burnout contest. Saturday they're going to do call outs, and we're having a 28-10-5 small tire shootout, and they're having a pit bike race. It's going to be off the chain. It's going to be fun. So if there's anybody in the area of Sykeston, Missouri, it's going to be at Jefferson's Motorsport Complex. That time of year, man, just come out and stop in. You're going to see a lot of cool stuff.
I already have subscriber and I like videos, so I know I have watched them. Thank you.
Yeah, be patient with us. We're trying to make them better, man. We just started this. We just pretty much, we had our channel. I had a YouTube channel on here since 2014, but I really didn't start posting videos until January when I started actually posting. When they announced the No Name Nationals is when we started making videos to try to make it. Now we're sitting there making it, so we try to help other people that might not make it to 500 yet. We try to pass the word out. So anybody out there that's watching this, if you do have some free time, maybe just check out the hashtag No Name Nationals and go on there. If anybody's close to 500, maybe give them a sub if you like what you see and help get them to 500 so they can go. We want everybody there. A rising tide will raise all the ships. We're all in this together. We're not competing. We're all working together to better the hobby, to make the sport last, and to pass it on to the next generation. Because believe me, there's forces outside of our control that don't like us hot rodding. But we're going to keep it going as long as we can. Because to me, nothing says America like car culture that we have. And it makes me really sad to see our country losing that car culture. Because a lot of kids today, given the choice, they don't even really care to have their driver's license. Does that bother you being open?
Yeah. It's like being at the house.
I left the cabinet open, so man, I gotta go shut the door. I left the parts cabinet open. She had to go close it. But yeah, I mean, we appreciate it. Like I said, if you can, if you want to check them guys out, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. There's a guy at Pole Barn Garage. His channel's getting pretty big, and he's made it.
That was bothering me.
Oh, definitely, dude. Start a channel and record it. It would be awesome. LS Swap, yeah, I mean, for that case, Hugh, they make a bolt-in motor mount kit for that, and my personal recommendation, I don't know, we haven't discussed, what do you want to do transmission-wise? I recommend a 4L80. If you're going to drive it a lot, if you need overdrive, go with a 4L80. If you're just going to, you're not concerned about overdrive, a turbo 400, and for your power level you're going to run, a turbo 350 is probably plenty, because I have a turbo 350 in my car that I built, and I have no issues.
Suffer because the new generation is lazy and doesn't want to get dirty.
Well, no, it's not really that they're lazy, because I met a lot of young kids that like cars. So I don't want to say it's laziness. It's the fact that for a long time, the mainstream society has told kids, that you need to go to college so you can work in an office behind a desk, and they forgot, a lot of schools have lost their trade programs, and, we need skilled workers, and we're going to need skilled workers. I got a 16-year-old now, and he's heavy into computer programming and stuff, but I tell him, I was like, bud, it's like all the money's going to be in building houses and stuff in a couple of years, because nobody wants to do it.
So yes, I'm going to run a 4L80.
Okay, yeah, then you're good. I mean, if you're going to run a 4L80, You just get, heck yeah, that's a good setup. I mean, you paid a little bit extra then for the Terminator Max, and then it'll control that 80, and you won't need an external controller. I think it's like $300 more for the Terminator X Max, but you get the transmission capability. And also remember, 2005 and up is drive-by-wire, which with the Holly, it doesn't really matter. You can swap one way or the other. But if you're running a factory computer, it matters on which
I have
computer you run.
8.8
8.8 rear end, and there has 31 spring axles.
I think you should be fine. I have an 80. I have the rear end of my Cutlass right now. It's out of a 2000 Explorer, so it's an 8.8 with 31 spline axles. I mean, I'm rotating my tires because I don't have beadlock wheels on there. I'm spinning my tire inside my wheels, so I mean it's getting hit with some power, and I personally haven't seen anybody break a 31 spline axle in doing what we're doing. I don't think I said, for now, maybe later if you want to upgrade to it, that'd be something down the road, but you could wisely spend your money on something else and not worry about the act. That rear end will be fine. There's a lot of guys out there. There's guys out there running 1,000 plus to an 8.8 with no issues.
Okay, cool. Now, is he starting his own YouTube channel? Does
He
he
said
have
he's
one?
going to record it, yeah. So he's going to record, so definitely.
He'll have to
Yeah,
invite us to his
Yeah,
page.
well, yeah, if he decides when he starts this swap, we're here every Sunday night with any questions you need to answer. But on top of that, if you do decide to record it and you're going to start a channel, let us know. We'll share you out on our community page and let people come check you out. And don't worry, man, because I still feel like a dork doing this. I'm not used to the camera yet either, and I've only been doing it for like 8 months, 9 months. It'll take a while to get used to it. Don't worry, you'll get there. You know what I mean? But all you need anymore, smartphones are so good, you can start a YouTube channel, and there's guys out there with 100,000 plus subscriber YouTube channels that do it all with their smartphone. I know.
I thought about doing a YouTube channel with all the drunken videos I do.
Old Man's Garage, which is the Hodgkin family out of Ohio. He does everything on his iPhone. Edits it, everything. Does it all on an iPhone. He's got over 100,000 subs, and he puts out quality videos. Same way, any good Android phone, you got a good Galaxy, any of the S series or anything, you're good to go.
I have a great set of poly Blackheart stock mounts for the LS2, a 4.8 modular motor mount.
There you go. Oh man, you're halfway there. Like I said, I need to, if you go like I said on there, he's under the name on here, Cameron Vick is his username. There's one word, Cameron Vick. He's the one though, that's Matt Apple's friend. He has an 8-second Ford Crown Victoria. It's ridiculous, it's literally to see a big Ford. Actually, I think Devin Vanderhoof's actually wiring the car right now. He's rewiring it. But these guys make serious power, and it's cheap. It's fun. Listen, that's the beauty of the LS. Like I said, is the LS better than any other motor? No, it's not. Yes, it has 6-bolt. It's got 6-bolt mains if you want to count the cross bolts for the skirt, but that's not its magic. The magic of the LS motor is that every crappy Chevy and GMC pickup truck had one in it. In the north, most of them was rotted out, so every junkyard's full of them. They've lasted, 200 plus thousand miles. All the half tons of 4L60 trannies gone out, and they ended up junking the truck. So they're out there and they're cheap. So if you do break them, you're not out no money. I got literally, like I said, that my daily driven Cutlass on my channel. I have less than $4,000 in that entire car. That's everything all in bought for it. I'm less than $4,000 in that car. And where else are you going to go 10-second, quarter miles plus drive it? Because I love to drive it. That's the whole point. There for a long time, I was in doing a lot of off-road stuff. And we started out off-road in our everyday trucks. You know, we started out with pickup trucks, Blazers, and Ram Chargers. I had one of my favorite off-road trucks ever was my Ram Charger. You remember the orange Ram Charger? I had that, and we learned taking our trails are so tight around here. You take a full-size truck on our trails, you end up destroying it. You end up smashing the sides in, you end up breaking the axles because the thing's so heavy. And so we got into mini trucks. And then about 97, I found, the Suzuki Sidekicks, Geo Trackers, and the Samurais. And for me personally, I never looked back. I know I was on Pirate for years. My username on forums has been Zookman27 for over 20 years.
The best news to find ran all the way to the scene of the crash.
Yeah, that's it, and that's the beauty of the LS. But so we started off-road, and then as our trucks got more and more hardcore, it ended up, I could jump it, I had a Samurai. It had just a spring over, it had the right gearing in it, it had the 1.6 swap in it, it was on 35s. I had a license plate on it. I'd take the doors and top off, I would drive it everywhere. But what would happen, I'd get on there and I'd break it on Sunday at the falls, and then it's like, man, this thing would do so much better if I didn't have to worry about, the axles being too wide, that it wouldn't be street legal, that the cops would bother me for the tires hanging out. This thing would work better if it had hydraulic steering, and little things like that. So the Samurai behind me grew into a four-door tracker that's got Toyota axles and full hydraulic steer and all that, and you can't, yes, you can drive it down the road, but it's not road legal, because one thing, hydraulic steering isn't road legal. So we ended up trailering it. So that kind of took the fun out of it. It's like, man, I miss just having a tractor on 31s. If you're just riding down the road and you see a trail going somewhere, you could just go forward drive it, cruise up that trail and see where it goes. We done that for years, and then when we got hardcore on it, it kind of took the fun out of it. Because now to take the tractor out and go four-wheeling for a weekend, you're working on it most of the week, getting it ready. And then you load all your stuff up. Then you got to load it on the trailer. Then you got to haul it down to the spot we go four-wheeling. Then you got to unload it. Then you either got to have somebody drive your truck because you don't want to let your truck set out at the main road while you're 3 or 4 miles in the woods camping for the weekend. You don't want to let your truck and trailer set at the main road for somebody to vandalize. That happens everywhere. So you either got to worry about your truck sitting there, or like I'll usually have a friend ride with me. They drive my truck and trailer back to my house and then bring it back when we're ready to come home at the end of the weekend. But it just becomes a big ordeal, man. You got to load everything on the trailer, you got to haul it, you got to unload it, load it back up, and it took the fun out of it. But we still do it, and I continue to do it. So then we got, I used to play with street cars when I was 16, 17, 18. My whole life I played with street cars. But then when we got into off-road stuff, we started doing a lot of that. And I'm glad I did, because I learned fabrication on it. I learned how to weld, I learned how to bend tubing, I learned how to make any kind of bracket I needed. I just learned, especially with the Suzuki stuff, because Suzuki owners are freaking cheapskates. And that's why most companies do good selling aftermarket Suzuki stuff, because we're too cheap to buy it. We'll go on there and be like, oh, why am I going to pay $100 for that? I can make that at home for $20 in materials in an hour's time.
They were running when they were wrecked. It turns into a chore.
Yeah. It's still, we enjoy it. We do it. I just don't do it as much. Where I used to take the buggy out every Sunday and go four-wheeling, now I might take it out 3 or 4 times over a summer, which is fine. The parts last longer that way, and it just justifies still owning it. But we started playing with street cars, and we got in the truck. And the Cutlass that I got right now, it's set in the corner of my shop behind Amanda here in that corner for 17 years with the stuff piled on it. Because it didn't have a motor. Well, it had a motor in it, but it had like 180 horsepower, Oldsmobile 350. It didn't make no power. The transmission was out of it. But we had no interest in hot rodding or anything, So it just sat there in the corner.
You said thank you for the info, brother. Have a good night. See you guys next week, and thank you for the info.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Glad we can help.
Have a good night.
Yep. thank you very much. We'll be here at 8 o'clock next Sunday. Have a good one, man. Take care. What is our time anyway?
Right after 10.
Oh crap, we've been on here over 2 hours, I guess. We get ready to wrap up. Alright guys, well, thank you everybody who tuned in. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the views. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for helping us make it to Sykeston. We'll get there. I appreciate my regulars, and we like to welcome a couple new guys coming in. We like to thank them. He said, I've spent 30 years learning this stuff. I want to teach as many people as I can. So, you know, it would be a waste of my life to spend all that time learning something if I don't give back. So, and I want to give the gift of hot rodding to the world, you know, or the gift of off-roading. If I can talk to you about your buggy, I'll teach you about your buggy too. But all right, guys, thank you very much.
Good night. Yeah, Schultz, it's past your bedtime, dude. Street lights are on. Good night.
We'll catch you next Sunday night, 8 p.m. I guess I'll bring the cutlass next week too. So,
Yes,
all right.
I have to work.
All right, good night, guys. We'll see you.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining in and watching and participating. We'll catch you next week.
Peace out.